played. Then you get another effect if you counterblast one. You get a choice of 2 different effects. So for example, we have the Dragon Empire Dark States card, who says on place, Soul Charge 1, get 5k. And if you counterblast 1, you can retire a unit, or choose a unit from your soul and call it out. We have then the Brankgate and Dark States card that says on place, look at the top number of cards equal to the number of set orders you have in your order zone, plus 1, put one of them into soul. Then you can counterblast 1, choose up to 1 set order from your soul, add it to your hand, or choose up to 1 unit card from your soul, add it to your hand. The Brankgate Keter Sanctuary card says you choose up to 1 normal unit or 1 order from your drop, put it on the bottom of your deck. Then you counterblast 1, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, choose 1 order, add it to your hand, or choose 1 unit, call it out to the field. The Keter Sanctuary Stoicheia card says on place, look at the top card of your deck, leave it there or put it into your drop. Then you can counterblast 1 to either choose a normal order from your drop, add it to your hand, or choose a unit and call it out. And then finally, the Stoicheia Dragon Empire card says that on place, you just get a plant token. Then you can counterblast 1, give you the player the ability that all of your rearguards that are played by abilities get plus 5k to the end of the turn, or you can give your Vanguard 5k, 10k if you have 4 or more units. These effects are really generic and should have a wide application of use. But do they really? Let's find out. So here we are at my favorite place, tiermaker.com, where I go to make all of my discussion videos. So basically how this works is I have all of the cards, or all of the bosses, the decks, however you want to look at it, ride lines, from Dragon Empire here, and I'm trying to find out, at the bare minimum, does the effect of this donation card benefit it in any way? Does it benefit it in a really good way, where it's actually a positive addition to the deck? Benefit it in a way that technically it does, maybe not actually you want to play it, or just it provides it 0 benefit? And to save some time, I already sorted everything out in the tiers that I think they should be. So let's just go ahead and talk through some of my thoughts here. So in the bottom tier, we're talking here specifically for the Dragon Empire Dark States card. That again says, we'll have the effect down here somewhere, but it just says on place, Soul Charge 1, get 5k. Then also you can either retire a unit or you can call something out from your soul. So the majority of these cards don't really care here for any of those skills. These are not retire specific clans. Aside from Varga, it doesn't really benefit from retiring your opponent's units per se. Buff Saga can already do this on her own. Virginia doesn't really care too much about it, right? Androl doesn't really care about it. They also don't really have anything in Soul that they'd like to call out. None of these really put cards in Soul that are really worth calling out for the most part. You can argue maybe Shiranui, because you can use like the Kayachika to put something from drop into Soul and then call it out, perhaps. But in general, it doesn't really benefit it too much. Then here, in kind of benefit, it kind of, has some sort of plausible playability here. For example, Shoujo Doji here, he actually puts his own units into Soul, so you can actually pull them back out, so it's actually kind of plausible. Then we have ourselves here Triumph Dragon, who actually kind of focuses on retiring specifically, so it might actually see a place in this deck. And then Tamayura herself, while she doesn't focus on retiring, she does put basically all her units into Soul, so getting easy access to that wouldn't exactly hurt. Now, whether or not this is actually viable is a completely different story. More than likely, they won't be played in these decks. They could maybe see some play in these 2 decks here, in Gandiva and Eugene. So Eugene is kind of funny because it actually puts a bunch of cards into Soul, so you actually have a good wealth of cards to choose from to call from this effect, and also it benefits from the fact that it's a retire card. Eugene is a retired focus deck. Likewise, so does Gandiva. Gandiva has a bunch of cards that just say on place, counterblast 1, retire something, and this triggers its effect. So yeah, that might actually kind of work out. Whether or not it's actually a good idea is a completely different story. And if we go down here, we'll see the Dark States side of things. For the same sort of idea, we have them all ranked in specific tiers and seeing them look if it's even beneficial. And you would think it would be more beneficial for Dark States, but in actuality, it is not. So a lot of these probably make a lot of sense. Andol can call out cards himself, right? And he also wants specific names. Lukier is already Counterblast 2 in a turn, so I don't think she'll be able to make use of this. And she calls out cards from her soul herself. VN-Spam's Bruce, you have to have specifically Diabol's cards. Unica specifically usually only has triggers in Soul, so you don't really want to call that out. And none of these really care too much about the retire effect either. For these, you know, you can kind of make the benefit for them, like Chaos, for example. On play Soul Charge 1, get 5k for this Rush deck. Works out pretty decently, even if you don't use the rest of these skills. Even then, calling out a Makani from Soul sounds pretty good. You know, and the retire is kind of whatever. Chronojet can probably make some use of this, especially in the early game, to just get something to on plays Soul Charge 5k. Pretty good. Probably makes a really good column with Swirler as well if they ever get that back. Barrow can technically benefit from this, right? You can technically play this. Again, Soul Charge 1, get 5k, helps you out in the early game, or, you know, on turn 3, can Counterblast 1 to call something from Soul, which you can then use to Soul Charge some more, maybe, if you don't have what you need. Bladmire technically has a free use of CB, since it can, you know, not need CB for its Vanguard skill, and it does selective Soul Charge, so technically I can see this work out. Whether or not it's actually played in these decks in, you know, a good capacity is a different story. But then we have Farbio, who I think is really the only one of these that benefits the most from this donation card, because this is a sort of retire-focused deck, so it likes the retire aspect. It likes specifically higher grades than 1, because it has to reach a specific grade account in Soul, so the fact that it's a grade 2 is pretty good. Soul Charge 5k is also pretty nice, but then also it allows you to call something out from your Soul, which means you can recycle some of your cards that put themselves into Soul. More than likely you won't do this for the Persona Ride card, but you can do this for that 1 grade 3 that lets you countercharge. Granted, this is a Counterblast 2 deck. For every Vanguard attack, there's another Counterblast, but you can call it a Countercharger. I don't know. All that to say is, there are some applications for this donation card, but I can't really make a strong case for actually playing these, just looking at these sort of at face value so far. Then real quickly, we'll go ahead and look at the Brankgate Darkseid's 1, who has an effect that just says on place, you look at the top cards equal to how many set orders you have, plus 1, so then you choose 1, put it into Soul, then you Counterblast 1, choose a set order or a unit, add it to your hand. You know, Dark States has literally 1 set order in the entire nation, and it's in the Festival Collection. And it's generic enough where, you know, it might actually see play, but for the most part, there's nothing that really benefits from this, because there's at most Soul Charge 1. And then add a card from your Soul to hand, which might be decent, but it's restricted to grade 2 or greater, so you can't add like PGs or anything like that. So there are some applications for this. The main one that I can really vouch for here is Chaos, because it does end up Soul Charging its Persona Break Ride card into Soul, and this gives you easy access to this, technically. So that would help out the deck a little bit, possibly. But they already have, I think, the Ride Skip card, so probably doesn't need this at all. You know, Barrow getting a card from hand, it already has Kagraw that does that, but that kind of effect is, you know, usable in this deck, so maybe. Same sort of argument I made for Blackmire before. He puts selective Soul Charge, so you can actually get some decent cards in there. Doesn't really use Counterblast as much for the most part, so you can maybe make a case for it. Whereas some of these other cards here, not really, right? Aside from the fact that pull stuff out from, you know, my Hey everyone, how's it going? As usual, man, I had a good streak of this chat showing up when I change scenes, but looks like today is not that day. How's everyone doing today? Hope you guys are doing alright. I am okay, I guess. I am technically on vacation right now, but I have somehow been more busy than I was when I wasn't on vacation, when I was working, and got less stuff done, which is confusing and frustrating, but that's fine. That is fine. I also look like a hot mess because I've been somewhat sick-ish. I don't know. I had allergies, I guess, or a cold. I don't know which one. I'm assuming just allergies. It was just really congested, and my nose was congested, and my throat was very itchy, which is basically, you know, telltale signs of seasonal allergies for me, but I haven't had it in a while, so more than likely that, or I got a cold, doesn't matter. Point is, haven't been feeling well, so that's why I look like a mess, but probably just look like a mess because I'm a mess. Oh man, but we got a lot to catch up on. I only have one light, so hopefully I don't look too dark or too hard to see, just because it is kind of warm today. It's like 70 something, sunny, beautiful outside. I stepped out for like technically 3 minutes or something like that because I just wanted to do groceries. So I got some sun, walking to the car, driving out of the car, back into the car, and then putting the groceries back in. Other than that, it was great outside, especially I had more time to actually enjoy it. There was a lot of rain recently, at least where I am at, so it might have been like the warm front moving in, so that's probably why it's so nice right now. I think it's supposed to rain the rest of the week. Maybe that's changed. I don't know. But because of that, we'll just be doing one light today, unless it looks horrible, which I guess it looks fine. I think it's doable, right? I'm visible. It's just funny how I used to stream like this I used to stream without a light. And I was like, yeah, it's fine. Then I got a light, and I was like, oh no, I need a light. And I was like, yeah, this is fine. Then I got a second light. I'm like, oh no, I need a second light all the time. Happy to hear you recovered from your seasonal sickness. Thank you. Yeah, that's why I couldn't stream on last Thursday, which sucks. Because I had everything prepared too, but I was just feeling not great, and I was just like, I should go rest. I should go rest. I don't want to be sick. I don't want to be starting to get sick the day before my vacation. My vacation started on Friday, so I was like, maybe I can rest. Tomorrow will be fine. Vacation saved. But... and then I'm losing a few days. That's fine. Alright. But, because of that, I think this should be working too, right? No? Okay, hold on. Hopefully the slides work like normal this time. There we go. Last time they were a little bit wonky. Let me just take a look. Okay, yeah, that looks normal. Alright. So, because of that, sorry, excuse me. We have a lot to go through because we have Thursdays that you should reveal, which I'm sure everyone knows about, but I'm gonna go over it anyways. I saw it when it came out and I read each of the cards, but I haven't really like processed them or anything like that. So I'd like to do some of that today. It's also in CFA today. I don't know if I have time to get into that, but it is in CFA, along with this new guy, who I believe is Kothal Blaze, or something like that. I'll see the name when we get to it. So we have both of those things to catch up on. Both of them have a lot of cards too, so I have like a billion slides. Because this guy had like a whole 9 cards revealed or something like that, and I usually had like 7 or something like that, so there's a lot. Plus, there's also going to be some card of the days that I've missed out on, and some of them are kind of interesting, so we'll get into that. When is BCS and White Plains going to be announced? White Plains is already announced. White Plains BSF. The reason I mentioned that one, aside from the fact that that's the one I'm going to, is the fact that it is the first one with Divine Set 1 legal. I think there is like Duluth or Georgia or whatever this weekend, but it's not legal because it just came out. But White Plains is the first one that's legal. So I'm saying when that comes out and the results from that come out and people see the list and whatnot, people are going to want to buy those cyclers, is what I was saying. BCS, they haven't announced it yet. All we know is that it is going into a longer month, or it got pushed back more. So usually we had finals in like January, then we had it in February, now we're having it in March. So that might mean it's not starting until October, maybe? Or they're adding more dates and it's just going to be a longer thing. We don't know yet. Presumably we'll find out in the next presentation. It's Overlord's 27 distant second cousin, sort of, yeah. So try to get cards before that, gotcha. Essentially, yeah. Once there's gonna be this weird lull, which is really hard for me to say. We'll take a look at the market later if we get through all of this. Because right now, sorry, hey bro, how you doing? Right now the market is just a mess, right? Like no one can really figure out what to tell anyone, just because like everything's just been flip-flopping all over Like Endel, the Direful Doll guy, he was $30 on Saturday. Now he's like $9. Before Saturday, he was like $5 or something like that. So it's just been a whole wild mess. Those cyclers, they're, you know, been going all over the place right now, right? Like Biscotti was like $100 or like $50, and then she went down to like 20 maybe, and now she's like 30. It's just a mess. So I can't tell you any of the usual rules to follow for buying stuff, but between BCS and BSF, where there's like no competitive play, there's gonna be a lull, maybe before set 2 comes out, where the prices should dip again, but I don't even know anymore. Months later, the Lyrical Cycler is gonna be as expensive as a Vashbond. Yep, 100%. 100%. 100%. Unfortunately. Even though they're not as like applicable, I personally feel like Vashbond has like a lot more utility in a lot of the Lyrical decks. In my opinion, I don't think she should be worth $70. She's probably gonna go down now that there's another option, right? But I think it's just the fact that it's a new card. There's some decks that couldn't play Vashbond, so now they can play the Energy Cycler. The Energy Cyclers aren't super mandatory for a lot of decks, right? There are some decks that I feel like people just throw them in and then figure out it isn't working, but like I can't think of too many decks where like, yes, Energy Cycler 100% I need it. Where like I feel like I found more decks where it's like, actually I'd rather play the other Cycler, to be honest. But I don't know, that's just how things are. But with that said, let me make sure the right music is playing. Yeah, let's just do this one. Let's just jump into this one. This is our news going through music, or I don't know what you want to call it. But it's alright. So we got a bunch of card of days to go through. Every time I look over at Tet, somehow I see Vashblonde and like expensive and like lyrical, and they like mesh together, and I keep seeing like lesbian somehow. I'm just like, what are you saying in my chat? Never mind. Anyways, we have a couple of like somewhat I'm just gonna say irrelevant. I don't like using these kind of words, and I like to not be that way, but I don't really care right now. A couple of somewhat whatever commons from DBZ BT03. They're getting revealed. We're starting to get all the reveals for that now that we're done with Festival Collection. Festival Collection in Japan is already out there, so we'll see how that shakes out. I wish I could. I don't think I have time. Maybe on Thursday, if I stream Thursday, maybe take a look at the prices of the cyclists. But the Chris Rain engine as a whole is beyond dirt cheap now. I want to Kakokium Chris Rain, no staples. Ironically, that's what I've been doing because I'm playing Vashbond. But I have this list where I don't think I have any staples, to be honest, aside from Vashbond. I'm just playing a bunch of rush cards. But oh no, I have Stagger. Never mind. I have to throw in Stagger because I have an order build. Anyways, so this is Dignified Bullet of Deathstorm Mallory here, who just says, when she attacks, if your opponent's Vanguard is greater, and they have 1 or less rear guard, she gets 10k to the end of the battle. If it was at least boost? Oh no, it's both. Okay, it's attack or boost. Alright, this is like fine. I don't see this ever seeing play in anything really, but it has potential, so it's at least playable, right? That's all that really matters. Well, it has like good applications and different story. Did I miss the Dayusha talk? No, not yet. We have a bit. I think we have a bit to get to that because there's the new like quote-unquote cyclers. No, we'll get into. Let's hope Chris Rain triple R from set 2 is gonna be cheap. Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do with that. Like I'm playing Chris Rain now, and I'm playing Halpa, which is the Hazard / Herminia card, because I need like a big beater of the deck to work, and I happen to run out of soul, right? So I'm trying to make that one work. But like once I get like Frenchette Pink, once I get her, and you know it's serious when I know the name of a lyrical girl, because I don't know any of their damn names, right? Because they all have these crazy looking names with like all these random verbs and adjectives and nouns thrown in there. But I know her name. It's like Franchette Pink or Pink Franchette, right? I need her so badly because you'll work so good in the build that I have cooking. But anyways, Punk Girls is a lot easier to run, just a heavy order engine to fill out the rest of the deck after the main phase, maybe. Doesn't know 1 minute. Jeez. Oh, Lutetia. What about Lutetia? Damn, I forgot. I was gonna go over the I don't know. We'll see. If there's a lot here. I was gonna go over the mats and the deck boxes and sleeves and stuff, but never mind. Names that you know. Oh, okay, yeah. Well, yeah. I know the, like, if it's like a deck name, like I know that. I know the grade 3. But like when it comes to a support name, I'll maybe know like their like actual name, because you know they have like fucking the flower girl that attends class on Thursdays, Jessica, right? I'll know the like last part of the name, maybe. Usually not. Usually I just say like, oh yeah, that's the pink girl that does this, that, whatever, right? But like all the main girls, the bosses, I know their names of. Not the full name. I know Lutetia, but it's like, I don't know how to say it, because it's like Etoile Grimoire, and then I think there's another word in there, Lutetia. But that's a different story. It's really nice to call a girl X. Yeah, kinda. That's kind of how I just have completely different names for it, but yeah, I just make a nickname for them essentially. I made sure to get the Wulster shop when they were $2. Yeah, I have Wulster built as well. But Fortia's Schoolgirl Overlord. I like for Fortia, I like Overlord the Friend. That's my favorite name for him. Spirited my Leo deck box, but the new lyrical accessories, really nice white dresses go hard. Yeah, I didn't get a good look at them, but they look really cool. All the lyrical units by name or other characters they remind me of. I don't know, yeah. Depression Fist. I don't know about all that. She'll be Depression Fist now that she got like sold out on TCG Player, because if I did a video on her, same day gone. But anyways, let it be known that we in this chat, we knew about Fennel. We've been preaching about it way before they caught on to it. Next set, right, when Kyoka comes out, bro, we'll be preaching about that too, and everyone's like, damn, Kyoka's good. Did you know? I just figured out Kyoka's good. I was like, nah, bro, we've been known about this. But we got this really weird against Sphere Dragon guy here, who just has that same usual effect. He gets 5k attack and shield if 4 or more damage, grade 3 or greater, or lower, or if you have 4 or more damage, like some nonsense, right? We're just gonna go next. Curse the different flame. I mean, it's not his fault. It's not like he purposely went like, go buy it now, buy all of them, give them to me, or anything like that. So he's just reporting on what he's reporting. What is this? Cheesy word. No. Anyways. Just realized the dragon is AK. Yeah, they're all AK. They're all AK grade 2s commons that just have the same garbage effect. It reminds me of set 5, which was another glitter encounter set where they had these like grade 2s that were 9k, but if they intercepted, they got like 10k shield, which was funny. He didn't cause the blackout buyout. Like actually, it just happened to be the effect of it. One of my friends who just started playing started the game, played Kyoka. Note that we are doing things a lot more casual, and we aren't going sets 13 plus decks. Join and push this shit with her. I'm telling y'all, she got bomb ass support in Lyrical 4. She got bomb ass support in set 2. That's where it's really at, bro. That's where it's really at. The only thing you need from Lyrical 4 is the one grade 1, the red. I don't know if she's red or her dress is red. But the grade 1 double rare that she puts herself into soul to like draw one. But I'm telling you, and we got the promo here as a box topper. So, but speaking of grade 1s, we got Melody of Magical Flower Taka, which everyone had just been calling Killer Tail, essentially, because it kind of does the same thing. I thought these were good until I noticed that they're not grade 1. Yeah, me too. There are many lyrical people don't pay attention to most besides the metal ones. I would say the opposite. I feel like they play more of the other ones. They just, I don't know. They just stick to their favorites maybe. But we got ourselves Tauka here, who's once per turn. Rest it. Use a card from your damage zone. Put it into your soul, and if you did, put the top card of your deck into damage, face down. So if you have nothing face up, this becomes Counterblast 1. If you take a face down card, put it into your soul. So it's kind of nice. It makes that sort of like interaction and forethought that you have to do with like Angel Feather, where you have to Counterblast specific cards kind of thing. So then put that into soul and then like, oh no, I healed it out kind of deal. But this can be free if you just take a face down card, put it to your soul, put another face down card. Doesn't matter. But then also if you put a Great Raider card with a different name from your Vanguard, so not Persona Ride, you Soul Charge 1 again. I don't know how much that second part is going to play into effect. We do have a Dark States boss coming in this set. There's some rumors that maybe we'll also get another encounter that might be like Amon or something like that. I'm still hoping and praying that they will listen to me and that they will do it Tsukiyumi. But we'll see. This effect is neat. I don't immediately think of any good applications. It's technically free soul. You know, it's soul charge, but like forgetting the last part, it's technically soul charge, right? It works. It'll probably work really well in like things that need specific grades or specific things in soul. So like, you know, Astroya, Jack Jewel, Valor of Neo, stuff like that. They would probably like this. Other than that, I can't think of any like specific examples where I'd want to run this, especially generically at the moment, but it seems decent enough. Yellow Bolt 12 years later. We're not expecting a 30k plus multi-attack when we're on grade 2 on our first grade 3 turn, or you have 4 damage already. It's just ridiculous. I'm hoping these damage zone effects are polluting to glory for more limit break stuff, but I'm going to be disappointed. I was thinking maybe like the new boss would involve the damage zone somehow, but it's kind of hard to tell. Because they've been like, I haven't been like, I feel like we all haven't been as privy to what Bushiroad's been doing. But they'll release stuff, they'll show it in the anime, they'll show, you know, whatever. And then later on, we realize, oh, this is for that deck, right? Like we don't put the pieces together, even though afterwards, in hindsight, it's like super clear what was going on. But if Fabriel support, that, yeah, it is. You could use it in Fabriel, right? Because you can put a bunch of grade 3s into Soul and then Soul Charge again, which is decent. It's not specifically for him, I don't think, but it has a bunch of applications. I don't think it has a lot of general applications. I'm definitely gonna pick this up. This might have premium applications as well, but you know, it's technically another Killer Tail. But Killer Tail, I think, counter charges. I don't remember. And cool that every Dark States does something different with Soul. Stuff is cool and interesting. What is unpredictable and surprising? Yeah, definitely. That's why. Best nation. Best nation with your best content creator at the head of it. But yeah, pretty cool card. Then we got a interesting card here. Also in Dark States. Again, keep in mind, put into the scope of this new Dark States boss that we are getting, that might have an interaction with this, right? Otherwise, why print this, right? This also is act on rear once per turn. Energy Blast to retire someone else as a grade 3. Retire another rear guard. You Soul Charge 1, then you retire one of your opponent's rear guards, and it gets 5k power. This is fine, right? 18k body, Soul Charge 1, removal for relatively low cost. I don't know if there's any specific interactions that you want something to get retired, but if that's the case, this would sound great in that. So this is like a nice niche card to have, like a decent effect to just have in the card pool, to be honest. We'll be back later. Got sister graduation and stuff. All right, congratulations to your sister and thanks for stopping by. The day we get a Farmville or Graham Grace new card is the day that one of my friends pops off. I also can't blame him. I'll pop off. Pop the fuck off so hard. But I love Graham Grace, but I just hate playing Keter stuff. Looks like its head is a parade lamp. I think he's like a super mega villain in Crave, when I vaguely remember, but I'm not too sure. This is also, I guess, technically, again, Farmville support. Because, you know, it triggers to retire. It's a grade 3. It's soul charged. So, this is actually a pretty decent card. Pretty decent. I just... Whether or not to retire another rear guard is, like, something that's more valuable than it is a hindrance to you, right? I don't think there's any rear guard you specifically want on board retired where this is actually really good. But we'll have to, I guess, wait and see. Solarian stops from being mid for just 3 guards, so Graham Grace can have time to shine. Yeah. Solarian is one that has seen 0 play in Japan, which I'm not entirely surprised about, but I think the deck is way better than people give it credit for. I don't know how it plays into the other stuff, which might be a question. I know it definitely has an issue with the fact that everything is locked to grade 3. So it has really no early game, which I think is the one thing the deck needs, and then it's probably going to be really good. Or at least more fleshed out. So that does it for the card of the days, right? Or the normal card of the days. But they've also been revealing these like new cyclers, right? Which are in set 3. These are double rare, and there's one for each nation, except Lyrical, because Lyrical is not in Divine's set 3. We maybe can expect one of these in Lyrical 1, DZ BTO 1. That are so bad that people forgot about it, yeah, which I'm not surprised, to be honest. But they all have the same first effect, and then the second effect is generally the same, right? They get boost, but only if you do some sort of in-nation specific requirement. So they all have this first effect. This is Flower Storm Dragon, so grade 2. That says when this is discarded from your hand, if your Vanguard is grade 2 or greater, you Soul Blast 1, call it out. But if it's in battle phase, it can't attack to the end of that turn. So you can discard this from your hand during your turn. This counts in ride phase, technically, but also any other point in your turn, you discard this, Soul Blast 1, call this out. Just can't do it in battle because of the fact that you don't get to attack with it, right? Unless you put it in the back row, because then you can make use of the second effect that says if an order was put into your drop this turn, this gets boost. So they all have some sort of requirement, and then they get boost based on the nation. These are kind of sick, not gonna lie. Sorry, can't afford your energy cyclers substitutes? Not really, because you can only use it. Well, actually, I guess you can use it on turn 2. But these are like completely different from the energy cyclers or any of the like other cyclers in like every way, because it doesn't draw. This just gives you the same card, right? This gives you a body on board, which has so many different implications, right? And then it also gives you more than likely a 10k booster on turn 2. So this is way more useful, or this has just completely different applications. I don't like any of the cyclers, the discard cyclers, because of the fact that their skills are locked to Persona Ride. So I kind of ignore that part of the skill that rarely ever comes up. Maybe that's different in Divines, but I kind of don't like that about them. Whereas like this is actually live on turn 2, which is kind of neat. And to ride to float cards, yeah, which is really cool. And also it's not just discard for ride. You can just discard for anything, right? It just says during your turn. That's it. So pretty cool. Unless you Persona Ride turn 3, yeah, unless you're playing Thegra, then it's fine. But I think I mainly just don't like Persona Riding stuff, or locked to Persona Ride stuff, just because I play Barrel. And I'm just like, who the fuck do you think you are? You think I'm gonna Persona Ride? Like, what am I gonna do with this? Like, I remember being so upset when they revealed Laminia as the first discard cycle. I'm just like, I can't use this shit. This sounds great in like every other deck, except the one I play. But you can play this in Leonard events since you can still boost, but yeah, there are better cards to run. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't discredit. I don't know if there's like a, oh, she does discard. Yeah, no, I think you missed the timing. Because I know the base Leonor discards, right? It's discard Soul Blast to boost, but you won't be able to like discard Soul Blast, call this, and use it as a booster because it'll miss the timing. But yeah, there's just a lot of applications for this, I feel like. These are going to be 10 cents instead of 30. I don't know. Might not be the case. I would definitely pick these up regardless. But so these are better. Is there better or worse Angel, Wayward Angel copy pasta? Sort of, just better, honestly. Way better than Wayward Angel. Wayward Angel is grade 1, which is fine, but you can't call her out normally. This you can call out normally. You can only call her out to back row Wayward Angel. This you can call out wherever you want, right? They both boost. They both have 10k. So this is way better in my opinion, and also Wayward is only in that one nation. So I'm using the Festival Grade 1 Energy Cycle for substitutes. I mean, I guess, yeah. I feel like those are going to be more expensive, ironically, given the nature of Festival Collection, but we'll see. But the lyrical one, yeah, I feel like that one's gonna be hard to find because of the ways you can interact with it. Yeah. But so that's the Circaria one. This is the Dark States one though. This one, so it has the same effect, you know, call it out, and then if 2 or more cards are put into your soul, this gets boost. This is kind of cool because Barrow has like 50 different cards that make you discard for no fucking reason. So I can actually make use of this, right? You can actually really make use of this. I can discard with Krug Ra, call this out as a booster. I can discard this with the baddie, have 2 boosters, right? I can discard this with Supernatural Extraction, get a body on board. This triggers also the effect, the second effect, right? Supernatural, because it's so charged too, I believe. So, you know, it makes those cards a lot more playable. There's this dumb dumb counter charger from set 2 that's like, when it attacks, if you have 10 or more, discard a card, he gets 5k, and then you counter charge or something stupid like that. Now it actually becomes more playable, right? So, I'm sure there's other Dark Sage decks, but I'm just focusing on Barrow right now. Team Regalia doesn't take all the hype away from the grade 1s. I mean, we'll see if they've seen any play. Could use the Festival grade 1. Maybe that one requires a little bit more setup, but maybe, I don't know. You can probably do the same with both, but Barrow uses, I don't know, I remember, yeah, no, I don't want to use that one because it uses energy, and I want to use all my energy for the cool dude whose name I don't know how to say. 2 more putting into soul. Not every Dark State's can achieve that reliably. I mean, kinda. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be consecutively. It just has to be 2 cards overall were put into your soul, right? It's not like you soul charge 2 specifically or anything like that. So I feel like most decks can do that. Like Jewel can do that. Astoria can do that. Barrow can obviously do that. Bruce could do that if he wanted to. So, but that would only be for the boost effect. So you can technically still use it as an attacker if anything. But sorry, my nose is still congested. So I'll get through these and then I'll go blow my nose and get more water. And then we got ourselves the Keter one. I'll go through these a little bit more quickly because I only had something to say about the Dark States one. But this is the same thing, you know, discard. But then it says if something was placed by an ability, if something else was placed by an ability, this gets boost. So basically every single Keter deck. This one says if you have more rear guards on your opponent, it gets boost. So I don't like this one as much. Dragon Empire always gets short end of the stick with like these situational effects that are kind of hard to achieve. You can never have more than your opponent if you both have the max, which is my issue, right? Because there's a very quick way to get to the max, but whatever. And then this last one says if something was put into your order zone, it gets boost. I feel like this one has good applications in Brand Gate also. But yeah, those are the effects. You can probably imagine that the lyrical one is, I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be return something to hand, but it might be if you have like 3 different names or something like that. Dr. discarded calling behind Vanguard to boost with. Yeah, you can do that. Because you basically call something with ability every single time. Any order values? 11 because nothing else works. I don't know about that. They heard you act, and the new Dragon Empire guy has like 50 different cards. So we'll see about that. But so that's that. The next we can finally get to Dayusha. Let me just blow my nose and get some more water. I'll be right back. Alright. Nose is sufficiently as good as it's gonna get cleared, so let's continue. Problem is, does Tegra even have space to run cyclers? She already runs the cycler, so I guess you can discard, you can get rid of Spiral Cutie or Biscotti for it, I don't know. So much in Dayusha, therefore I have arrived. How you doing, Pablo? Have you messed around with Dayusha yet? I haven't had the time. I just saw that it's in CFA already, but let's get into it. So we've known about Dayusha both when they presented it, when they announced it back in like March, but also you guys have known about it because they did this on Thursday, so I'm just playing catch up. But remove a cycler for a cycler, yeah, essentially. But this just you know, is Goyusha as expected. It's just a star that lets you draw. I thought this was going to be the skip ride. There is a skip ride, but this is not the skip ride, which is fine. We'll go next into Dimensional Robo Dilander here, who has 2 skills. When this unit is placed on Vanguard, search your deck for up to 1 base card, reveal it, add it to your hand, and shuffle your deck. Technically, you can play this in B Heroes, but it does just say base. Technically, you want to play Gopher because he has a hero name and you can recycle that, but you can trick them into going to Dilander. You'll pick up the hero base and it won't matter, but if you don't like the Gopher, you can go into Dilander. I might consider it, I don't know, I didn't like the Gopher initially, but he's kind of grown on me. But then it says when this unit is put on rear from soul by an ability, if you have Dayusha, all your Vanguards and itself get 5k power. So you just bring this out, they both get 5k, which is decent. Your cards game? Nice. Oh, this is alright. But most importantly, let's talk about this base here. Which, before I got sick, I heard some people trying to play this in Heroes. I don't know what the hell's wrong with y'all, but we got here Super Dimensional Fortress Die Base. This has 2 effects. So this is a set order. It is a base. It's a set order / base. It says if you have Dimensional Robo, any Vanguard with Dimensional Robo, you rest this energy charge 1, choose 1 grade 2 or less Dimensional Robo. When you drop, put it into soul. I don't know why it couldn't just be 3 or less, but whatever. Put into your soul. And if this card was put into the order zone this turn, you can do from your drop instead. Wait. And this card in from your drop. Oh, instead of from choosing for your drop, sorry, okay. Search your deck. I was just like, I just said that. But yeah, you can do this from... So if you played it this turn, you search from your deck, put the soul. If not, you rested energy charge for both effects. If you didn't play this turn, you choose something from drop, put it into your soul. If not, you search from deck if you played that turn. Okay. But it also has another skill that says you can kind of do the opposite. Energy Blast 2, rest it, choose one from your soul, and call it out. So, pretty decent. Obviously, you can't use this effect in Heroes. This will trigger a lot of the effects in Dayusha. And I've been told that you can use this first effect in Premium. You cannot use this one in Premium because you can't do Energy Blast. But apparently you can Energy Charge even though you don't have a way to get the energy. So you can technically use that second effect, which is possibly why this is restricted to grade 2 or less, which I think is dumb. Maybe that would have broken something. I generally don't care. I feel like just break it, then ban it sometimes, but whatever. Bihura Badash, the promo CC goes hard. I finally see what Bushi is cooking. Yeah, I mean, I guess you could use this. It's kind of the same thing, honestly. I kind of hate that it works in this deck, because now I have to fucking fight the dimension, the DP bros. I have to fight the DP bros to get my promo, but you could just use Bulb of Mine, but yeah, it does get an extra 2k, so it technically is better than Bulb of Mine in this deck. So this is a cool order, but the reason you want to put stuff into Soul and take it out is because you have stuff like this, which is Dimensional Robo Dragon. So whenever you ride Dayusha over it, you just call this out. When this is placed on rear from Soul by card's ability, and you have Dayusha as your grade 3. Till the end of the opponent's next turn, you can actually retire this dragon to give your Vanguard Dayusha 15k to the end of that battle whenever it's getting attacked. So it gives you just a trigger essentially that you can use to guard with. And this also gets 5k power, right? Which is, pretty decent. That dragon, I think, only before just used to get like 3k if you had a Dimensional Robo. So that's a nice step up. You can get this out pretty easily. I don't know how often you'll use that effect to retire to get 15k, but that's pretty nice. Defensive option is defensive option, you know? So that's pretty cool. Then we got the man, the myth, the legend here, the hero, Super Dimensional Robo Dayusha here, who has 2 skills. When it attacks, counter blast 1, draw 1. And if your opponent's on grade 3, so if you went second, so this is a going second deck, choose any number of your units with Dimensional Robo with different names. They all get 5k. It does say units, so you can choose itself, which is alright. Then it also says once per turn, at the end of the battle that it attacks, you put a card from your hand into Soul, so you don't discard, which is kind of nice. To stand this, and it gets -1 drive till the end of that turn. If you don't have Goyusha, the starter, and you Persona Road, right? If you don't have Goyusha bound, and also you Persona Road, you will then bind Goyusha to then get a drive. So I'm guessing we're playing extra copies of Goyusha, right? Because there's nowhere to get it back from the bind zone. And you're going to want to do that more than once, right? Presumably you will at least Persona Ride. You want to aim at least, I guess, the Persona Ride twice, right? So I'm guessing we're playing Goyusha in the main deck, huh? Oh, right, you can't. Because once you have one bound, you can't do it again. Oh, that's yikes. Hey Basil, how you doing, buddy? Yes, hello Skinny Legends. It checks for a bound Goyusha. Yeah, that is kind of ass. Not gonna lie. So you can only get a drive once. An extra drive once. Essentially divine. I mean, yeah, kind of. It's kind of divine. That's essentially a divine skill. I mean, except you can get around it if they make a card that gives you back Goyusha, which I'm sure they will, because that seems unnecessary. But I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, it might actually do that. I'd have to do something crazy other than that, right? Because just putting that back is not going to do a lot. It screams promo support, possibly, yeah. Just by the sheer fact that it's an encounter, you know,
We have the blasters with like five promos each, so I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. But I would not be surprised if the promo somehow puts back Goyusha into your soul and then does something else crazy. Because like, I would hope it does something else. But we'll have to wait and see. Comes a Liel clone? What do you mean? What do you mean by that? But otherwise, this is like fine. It kind of. What have they been doing that way? They've been giving me like small. Sorry, I have dinner, which is just Taco Bell for like the 5th stream in a row. We're like sponsored by Taco Bell at this point, not really. But they keep giving me like these weird small looking chalupas. But anyways, Hades 2 is out. I think it's out for early access. Return Bound to become a PG. Oh, that would have been kind of interesting. But yeah, that would be really interesting if we did that. That'd be really cool, actually. Yeah, that would be insane, actually. Yeah, if they got like an extra PG, you could only use that at one time, right? So it wouldn't be that insane. So I think, yeah, that would be kind of cool. All right, but next up, so that's the whole ride deck and the base. Oh. Next up, we have some rear guards here. We have Dimensional Robo Die Battles. It says, in your soul, once returned, if you have Die Dragon as your Vanguard, and your opponent is grade 2 or greater, so this works going second. Yeah, because if you go first, you'll be on grade 2, your opponent's on grade 1. So you can only use this going second, right? If you have Goyusha and Dilander in your soul, and also Die Mariner, so you have to put that into your soul. He's the next card. You can put a card from your hand into soul again. To then ride Dayusha from the ride deck. So it's the Ezo skip ride, except it's on a rear guard instead of the ride deck, but it has no restriction. It's pretty cool. But you can't do it a turn early. You just catch up. When this unit is placed on rear from soul, your card's ability, if you have Dayusha, and your opponent's Vanguard's grade 3 or greater, so you super hard are going second with this deck no matter what. He gets a crit until the end of the turn. So both his attacks will have a crit. Times you're fighting Ezo? Yeah, I guess technically you can do that right away, right? I don't think it matters, actually. No, yeah, I guess you could do it a turn early. Did I go first? Stylander. They go. No, yeah, no, I guess not. No matter what, it doesn't go faster. Unless, like, yeah, because even if you go second, it's the same thing. If you go first, right, I have Stylander. They have, whatever his name is. Then I go into Die Dragon. Then they go and they skip into Ezo. I will either just automatically ride, or I can use the effect if I want to, so. But, as is the one downfall of Ezo, all the other effects will be active. Learn a lesson? Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, I think Ezel's like maybe one card away from being really good, but we'll see. I was trying to look around the heart. I have no idea what Showstopper said other than my cards are pretty. It's a 2-letter word. My cards are pretty. I keep seeing like WN. That's what I'm making out. And my cards are pretty on. Are pretty of. Are pretty at. Is it an emoji? I don't know. I give up. Are pretty. What the fuck, damn. I did not see the F. I did not know it was 3 letters. I'm sorry. Let's go over Time Mariner. Then Die Lady. And then I'll finish my other talk on. Alright. So we have Die Mariner here, Dimensional Rumble Die Mariner. This one is interesting. So this is a double rare, grade 1. That in Brian Cape, if you discard it during your turn, this goes into Soul. This is Tokodorashi, but he's AK. Doesn't have the downfall of Tokodorashi. Look how far we've come since Overdress Set 2, right? Also, when this is put into the Soul by your cards of no. When it's placed from Soul onto rear by an ability, if you have Dayusha, then it gets 2k, but your opponent can't intercept, which is like, okay, that's a fine effect, I guess. Sure, but that first effect is kind of nuts. I almost want to consider playing this in Heroes, because you can use Amos, discard a card, Soul Blast 1, search your base, and you can put this into Soul. And it literally makes Amos skill free, like free.com. There's no space in the deck to do that, but it's just a funny little interaction. I'm sure there's other ones. So yeah, get these when this comes out. This will be usable in a lot of things, I can imagine. I don't see any cards that's Soul Blast. No, because I think you want to have everything in your soul. Because, you know, it's the whole thing about they all come together to form Dayusha, so you technically don't want to Soul Blast them out, at least thematically. But, yeah. But I guess technically you can find stuff that's Soul Blast and that'll work out. But, for the last card here, right? Yeah, the last card here in Super Dimensional Robo Die Lady. So, when is this placed? If you have a Dimensional Robo, CB1, search your deck for a base, and put it in your hand. Fucking Dayusha. First rare support that can on place search a base. We have to wait until set 13 to be able to do this in Heroes, and look at this. Best reason to play the deck. Then she also just says, this you can actually use in Heroes, which is funny. But when it's attacked, equate to or greater, if you have 2 or more bases, she gets 10k power to the end of that turn. The end of the battle. You can actually play this in Heroes, but more than likely you'll play this in the Bat, because sometimes that uses hero cards, and there's only like 3 hero cards that don't need a Hero Vanguard. This isn't a hero card, but it does benefit from having bases, right? Other than that, I don't see this seeing any other player other than Dayusha. Dayusha seems cool. I guess we can stay on that later while I eat my last taco. Dayusha seems cool. What do you guys think? I've heard people go on both ends of the spectrum, as per usual, right? As per usual, whenever something new gets revealed, it's either it's always both sides of the extremes, and either everyone picks one side or they just pick both extremes. They like, people split up and go on both sides, right? But I've heard people say that this is just ass. They massacred our boy, he sucks, etc. I've heard people saying this is super strong, they did him justice, etc. So what do you guys think? Alright, Ayusha, again, the restand is almost free every turn if you don't Persona Ride. I don't think you have to... I don't think you pay a cost if you Persona Ride. Like, you don't pay an extra cost. It's technically free in the fact that you have to put a card from hand into soul, which does benefit the deck. But yeah, you minus one from hand every single time. And then, you only have to bind, or you can only bind if you Persona Ride. If you want to count that as a cost. It used to be a R grade 3. She wasn't a grade 3, she was a grade 2. Right? Yeah, she was a grade 2. Right? Yeah, she was a grade 2. Seems like solid mid-tier 2 deck. Yeah, I guess. Not amazing, but not bad either. Yeah, you're not Sheffield. It's like the epitome of a 7 out of 10 deck. Yeah, I guess. Like, I mean, he seems good, but I haven't tested him that much. Pretty competent meta. Nah, definitely playable in the current meta, but that's enough for me. I mean, I don't know about that per se. I don't know if he has any... Like, if I just think of what's good right now, I don't think he has any good matchups or ways to deal with, like, Sorga, Vladimir, Luar, Chernuim, Varga, Raziel, right? He doesn't have anything that specifically threatens them, or allows him to keep up with them that I can think of. So I would definitely not put this in tier 1. I don't think. Just by the sheer fact that those decks gatekeep him. Not saying he can't beat them, but I don't think he outright has an advantage or something like that, right? So I don't think he would jump into their tier, but... Why restand? I mean, yeah. That's kind of like the Dimension Police thing, right? So... There's no Laurel, so... I don't know what the V Daisha does, but you guys gotta stop bringing up V when we talk about encounters. You know, Bushiroad is trying to do their hardest to forget about V. And every time we get an encounter, you guys try to bring up V. Like, it's not gonna happen, fella. V does not exist to them. V is only getting supported if it supports premium. Other than that, V don't exist. It never happened. It was all a trick. Right? Whatever they did in that format doesn't matter. They're gonna pretend it didn't happen and then like make up some shit later on the way and be like, what? Markers? We never did that before. This is a whole new mechanic. I don't know what you're talking about. Do your filler arc, essentially, yeah. Especially like they put the last nail in the coffin with History Collection, where now a lot of decks use the old grade 3s, right? They have to use those instead of like using the other ones, right? The new V versions, so didn't happen. Rival Man during battle, basically a more powerful raging form. I mean, that's yeah, that's like raging form thing. I don't know why they would give that to Dayusha. But yeah, deck seems fine. Could probably plus a little bit more. Because you don't plus from the base. The base is free to play. This give you 1 energy but costs 2. You get 1 base from the ride deck. This doesn't plus you. This draws you 1 on attack. So, if anything, yeah, the putting to soul is free. Because you draw 1 and you put 1 into soul. So they cancel out. So you get to keep your drive checks. The extra attack is fine. Doesn't really have any strong rear guards. Aside from the Die Lady, and that's kind of it. The Die Lander, I think it is, gets 5k. And the Dilander gets 5k, and then Die Dragon gets 5k. So they're like okay rear guards, but this is like a Vanguard focused deck. Vanguard swing is okay, has a crit. Swings for 23k, not on Persona Ride if you use the first effect and you use Dilander. So it's okay. No, I don't know. Superior cross ride, that's why, yeah. That's the path that I would rather it go, to be honest. New like direction with premium. Would love if Bushi Road could give me more later G era bosses like Exceed or maybe some Legion stuff. I don't know. In standard, I would love to get Legion in standard, to be honest. Doesn't have to be like everyone gets it, right? If it's just like one deck or two that uses Legion as a mechanic, that'd be cool. Doesn't even have to like put cards back. Just let me put 2 Vanguards on the Vanguard circle, right? Let me do that again. I think that would be cool. They've already future-proofed the game where it always says Vanguards, so they can totally do it. Oh, and another history collection? Yeah, that wouldn't be against that. There's always this year's history collection, I guess. Or, yeah, this year's history collection, right? Because that was last year's. I mean, we might not get anything. It might be next year, huh? All we're getting is the stride deck sets, or the technically stride deck sets, but the like premium deck sets, I should say. Bafsagra is Vanguard. Order. I want Vanguard. That's different. Nation does benefit from the donation card for Dark State's Rank 8 one. Yes. A ton. Because you could look at top whatever. You go to how many bases put in to Soul, one of the die rebels, and then I forgot what the second effect does. You take something from Soul, right? Put it to your hand. Yeah. Take like a unit or a order. So yeah. I heard about the Nintendo Direct. Supposedly they specifically said we're not revealing Switch 2 this time, which is funny. But the biggest Bushi Road product stream of the year? Wasn't that the January one? That was pretty big. We have the one for the rest of the year, right? No. First of all, when is that? Second of all, how far is that going to, right? I guess that's the summer conference? Oh, let me blow my nose again. Sorry about that. Hopefully next stream I will not ever have to blow my nose. Stop Proxima, okay. Deuces. Maybe. But this upcoming one will give us Season 2, Set 4, Set 5, Lyrical 5, Encounter, whatever any new stride decks will be, yeah. I figured it would be that. That sounds like basically the agenda that they would talk about. I don't know how much there is to talk about Lyrical 5 other than, like, I guess an Encounter. They might give us a Set 3 Encounter then, depending on when it is, I don't know. If there's any plans for a G 10th anniversary, it should be, it would be there as well, that'd be cool. Get stuff when I eat food too. It's not even that, I'm just... One is I still have, like, allergies. Two, something about this room, I have to get, like, air purifier or something like that. I don't know, better circulation or something like that. But whenever I stream and I close the door, it's just, it really stuffs me. can breathe. I can fight. Alright. Better now. Alright. The second big stream for Divines was... Oh, that was December. Oh, damn. I can't believe that was December. Whew. Yeah, that was a huge one. Alright. So that's Ayusha. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Now we've got up to everything from Thursday. We can talk about today's news. Which is this fella. That guy. I forgot I can point at you guys. I can do like this. I can give your smiley face horns, I guess. I don't know. And take Show's thing and like make his sword pink. Anyways, so we got Divine's Blaze Eye Enryu here, who says, just, you know, when this is wrote over, draw a card. Nothing to write home about here. Pretty cool looking starter. Like the art. Quite a bit. Broken. Roland reveals on screen again, can come back. Oh, shut up. Ironically, you would call this relevant because a lot of people have been saying this is ass, but we'll see. Monk dragons, kind of, yeah, essentially. For all three Youthquake promos have been fire. Assembler, Stoic Order, and Saragon, but the fourth one's really good too. I don't know, man. Fourth one's really good. That one's at the end here. So we got Divine's Blaze Ear Sniffle here. Snifle. When this is wrote upon by the Grade 2, Flame Searing Dragon Baldras. Use Soul Blast 1, look at the top 7. Choose 2 cards with different grades from among them. Reveal it. Choose a grade 3 from among the reveal cards. Put into your hand. Put the rest into your soul. So, deck is very strange. I thought at first when I was like creating these that I was reading it wrong. But no, yeah, it focuses on grade 3s to an extent. This looks like a Pokemon Baby Dragon. Kinda, yeah. Baby Dragon with some clothes on. Yeah, it could be a mid-stage evolution. But unfortunately, then we get this guy. I hate this guy. He looks cool and all. He looks like he's giving you the middle finger. But I hate that they went from like this dragon and they had like this whole theme where like this guy's the eye, right? He's Divine Blaze. This is Divine Blaze Ear, right? And then it's just a fucking dragon with a sword. Like, what the fuck? Why would they? This looks like this should have been a rear guard. I don't understand. Like, it doesn't make any sense. It's like he had this whole lineage going up, and then like he just became an adolescent teenager. He's like, fuck that. I'm not divine anymore. I'm fucking Flame Searing Dragon Bladros. Whatever. I hate Garurumon. Like my second favorite Digimon. How dare you? Card illustrator is Quilly. Specifies on 4-panel super deformed manga, so I explain the art style. It's Digimon after all. It evolves into something completely random and unrelated. Yeah, I like Garurumon. Looks cool as fuck. He's a big ass dog, bro. I like Garurumon too. But my favorite Digimon's Paldramon. Love that thing so much. What does it evolve into? What is it called? I want to say Omnimon. What does it evolve into? Stupid fucking flying Digimon that they fly around all over the world with. Where Garurumon? Actually, I don't like Metal Garurumon. I think he looks lame as fuck, especially compared to fucking what is he called? Metal, whatever the fucking last one for Greymon is. I forget his name now. But fucking Impildramon. There you go. Yeah. But fucking Metal Garurumon looks like shit. Or Metal Garurumon looks like shit compared to fucking War Greymon. So I always hate how it looked, but War Garurumon looks dope as hell. He got like the cut off jeans and the shoulder pad. He looks cool as fuck. I didn't like that he was like 2 feet tall sometimes, but he looks cool as fuck. Garurumon I really like too, because he's just a big ass fucking dog. And Gabumon was cool too. I even like Sunamon. I like the whole line, and then they fuck it up with the last one. I was like, oh my god, I've been waiting for this, and you just give me this fucking lame-o RoboCop dog ass. Anyways. Apparently a pencil with eyeballs exist. Sounds about right. Garurumon is my favorite since a kid. Yeah, I'm not surprised. I don't know if I recall. I think that's later on. I think Imperial Dramon is just the fucking the stupid one with the big ass gun, and then they ride it, and he turns into like the fighter mode, and I think after that it has like the paladin mode, but I might be misremembering that. No, Mon. Dukemon is your favorite? Dukemon's cool. Dukemon's maybe I don't know Dukemon. Is Dukemon from season 3? Is that the like final stage of Garurumon? I forgot what it was called. I never knew that one's name. Is that the one from season 3, right, with the fucking shield and the spear? Is that Dukemon, or am I thinking something else? I don't remember. For much more. Gulimon, yes, there we go. I was gonna say Growlmon. I was like, no, that's like the champion form. Gulimon, yes. There you go. Okay, cool. So I do know Dukemon. I thought he had like a different name. Yeah, from Tamers. Yeah, Tamers was wild. I gotta watch that again. That's the last Digimon. Like not like growing up, but like I rewatched it when I was older, right? And I watched it in Japanese also to get the actual context. That one was wild. But that was the last one I watched. I tried to watch 4, but I just could not get into it, especially after 3. And I really wanted to watch, I think 5 is it? The Data Savers, Digital Squad, whatever the fuck. The dude that punches the Digimons. I really wanted to watch that one. Gallantmon. Oh, okay. That's what. Yeah, that's what I'm like. It's not Dukemon. That's why I'm keep mixing it. Okay, Gallantmon. Okay, good. Whew. So I wasn't off. Jellomon. That's probably something. Every time you say words wrong, you're gonna call me a lot. I say words wrong all the time. The only thing I know about Digimon is TCG is full of OTKs and floodgates. I don't know about floodgates. I know they have OTKs. I don't know. I never knew. The reason I didn't like the TCG because I didn't know. I never saw any sort of interactions other than like security, which is just like you get fucked or you don't get fucked. But anyways, back to Flame Searing Dragon Blobdra. Sorry, I didn't mean to talk about Digimon. Alright, so this just says when you ride the grade 3 Holdeth Blaze, they don't even have the same archetype name, which annoys me so much. But when you ride the grade 3, draw, choose a grade 3 or less from your hand, call it, and if not, discard. And also, he gets 5k if you have Holdeth Blaze while he's on rear. I watch every single one. Cross Wars is my favorite, but that's kind of controversial, I guess. I really wanted to watch that. Because I used to watch the, it has to be that one, right? Where, yeah, because there's some point where, like, everyone comes back at the end of that one, or one of those. And, like, there's this video that I saw where it's, like, just everyone just fucking coming back. They're fucking, everyone brings their Digimon and shit. Or at least the main characters. And then someone did a video where they showed that scene, but then all of the Digimon, like, actually going through, like, the Digimon, the Digi-Evolution sequences. So I used to watch that a lot when I was younger. But, this guy's fine. Gets 5k attack, draw. Yeah, okay, yeah, I figured that was the sequel. Yeah, because they had, like, 2, and then there's, like, another one after that or something where it's, like... Doru Greymon? Because I know Cross Wars is the one with the speaker dude. Right, he's alright. I forgot what his name is, but he looks pretty cool. Shoutmon? Yeah, Shoutmon. But then there's another one with some kid, and he has like this like long ass purple dragon looking thing. But I think that's the one after it. But I'm not really sure how that guy ties in. But speaking of tying in, we got ourselves here Fiery Immolation Dragon Cofflet Blaze. With so much text. And a very strange effect. It ties none of this stuff back together. Because this guy says, look at top 7, put grade 3 to hand, put something in the soul. I guess it kind of ties together. Then this says, call something out, draw, call something out, lift on discard. This guy says, act, counterblast 1, look at the top 5, choose 2 grade 3 or less with different card names from this unit, and from among each other. Reveal it, choose 1, call it, put the other one to soul. So that's what. Okay, so that makes more sense. I thought originally you just had to call grade 3s. So I was just like, what the fuck? This deck is whack. So you don't, especially because this guy here says to choose a grade 3. So that's the part that threw me off. But all right, so this is pretty decent. Counterblast 1, look at top 5, call 1, put 1 to soul. Pretty good deck thinning, especially for a restanding deck. Here's the Greek Minotaur by Kung Fu. Yeah, I don't understand what's going on here. It took me a good while to understand that this is a leg, and this is another leg, and this is a leg, and this is a tail? I don't know. But here he is. And I guess he's like doing this. I thought he was doing this, but he's actually doing this to grab like a fiery sword, it looks like. So yeah, so this gives you a board, pretty decent, fills up soul, not half bad. Then it attacks, and it says at the end of the battle that it attacks, you perform one of the following. You Soul Blast 2, and then for each card with the same name as the cards that you Soul Blasted that are on rear, so if I have Shinri and Lafayette, and I Soul Blast out Shinri and Lafayette, I can restand my Shinri and my Lafayettes and give them 5k. So this gives you 5 attacks, technically, for Soul Blast 2. Pretty decent. Or Soul Blast 2, you Soul Blast 2 cards with the same name as the Vanguard. Discard a card from your hand also to stand the Vanguard, get 5k, -1 drive. I was hoping we'd get a card that says I count the same as the Vanguard, but not yet. Spoiler alert. Is there a good grade 3 rear guard in Dragon Empire? Originally I was going to look into that, but you don't really need it. You kind of just want to, I guess, use the effect for this guy. You just search Persona Ride, I guess, or maybe the order. But yeah, you can just use grade 2s, which is fine because it's grade 2 or less, grade 3 or less. Sorry. As the overtrigger remover might be played. Ugh. I guess isn't that like Soul Blast 1 retire at 15k? So maybe you can restand that. Yeah, maybe. I should. I'm gonna have to pick that up. I might pick that up in FFR because it's probably like $5. Wait, the restand is the grade 3 Vanguard being Soul Blasted. Yeah, you have to Soul Blast basically 2 copies of the Vanguard, and then to restand itself, or Soul Blast any 2 cards to stand any 2 cards with matching names. That's what you Soul Blasted. So very interesting effect. I don't know if the second part is kind of tough to pull off, which is kind of whack, but we'll see. I haven't read the other card as closely. So next up we have ourselves Fire Pole Emperor Dajarur. This says if you have the Vanguard, rest this. Choose something from your drop that's not a Sentinel. Your normal unit that's not a Sentinel. But on the bottom of your deck, choose a unit with the same name and gets 5k. There is, well, not really. There's a common. I guess this is a common also. There's a common from set 8 that does the same thing except it gives itself 5k. And it's not. You can do this on turn 1 because it's not locked to a specific Vanguard. So I don't know how much play this will see. But then it also says if you have the Cult of Blaze and this card name is attacked. So you have to have this on board. It's getting attacked. You put it into soul, he gets 15k at the end of that battle. I thought this was like, do I have this wrong? I copied and pasted straight from Bushiroad. No, interesting. So this is a defensive card. I thought it was an offensive card. It's like, okay, cool, 15k, I can restand with that. But I was like, oh, it's the end of the battle? Then that's kind of whack. But no, this is a 15k shield, so you can play this. It becomes a 13k booster. Put something on the bottom of the deck. That, I don't know if that really matters as much, because I don't think you go through your deck quick enough for that to matter. And then you can essentially guard with this, right? Except you get soul from it, and it becomes 15k. So, pretty interesting. I know you want to put stuff back because you have like different names, but I just don't see how easily you can get those cards back if they're going to the bottom of the deck, right? It's like the Storkea and Keter, the only good generic pools. Keter, I guess, is good, but it's kind of the same exact pool of cards. Storkea is definitely the best generic pool. A lot of people don't talk about this, but Dark States is kind of bad too, for the most part, when it comes to generic cards. Brightgate is solid, just because of Bobaline existing. And, of course, Lyrical has a great generic pool as well. Dark have improved? Maybe, I don't know. No, I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true. Tell me some generic cards that are not Brainwash Swirler or Cycler. In Dark States. I don't like this line. Random Soul Charge. Feels so bad. Why is it Dragon Empire? Is it Dark States deck? It's not random. It's not random. This is Soul Blasting. You're putting... It's not random because you're looking top 5, but it's a Soul. This is irrelevant. And then this is like a top 7, but it's a Soul. So it's selective Soul Charging. Yes, it could have been Dark States. But it's selective Soul Charging and then you're using the Soul for it. So... I know Dark States is bad concerning cookies. For timestamping and player amount, both of these. And also, guys, yep, exactly. I think it was made to be used with the Dragon Empire, Dragon Empire Dark States donation. Yeah, definitely. It'll definitely benefit from this because you can call out. Well, maybe not. You get the Soul Charge 1, I guess, but calling something out from Soul, I don't know how much you want to do that. Like, I don't see you generating a lot of Soul so far, right? There's still like 3 more cards. But so far, we're not generating a lot of Soul. This is Soul Blast 1, first of all. This gives you 1 card in Soul. And then you counterblast each turn to get another card in Soul. And then you're Soul Blasting 2. So far, you're not generating a lot of Soul, right? And you need specific cards in Soul. So, this puts itself into Soul, which is irrelevant. Then we got this guy. I don't think it's going to help. This says when this is placed on rear, if you have a, the grade 3 Colthid Blaze, counterblast 1. This one's interesting. Retire one of your opponent's rear guards, then discard, retire another rear guard. So basically, counterblast, discard, retire 2 rear guards, essentially. But it works the way it works really well against like certain cards like Arthwin or that lyrical card where it says like if you choose for an effect you have to do me. Right? You can retire that card and then choose the other card you want to retire. So it gets around that protection. But then the second skill says that when this is retired from rear or guardian, you put into Soul. But only if your Vanguard is grade 3 or greater. So again, having a lot of issues building up Soul, doesn't get an extra shield or anything like that. It's just you guard or it goes to Soul. He doesn't get power, so it's not like you want this in Soul to Soul Blast to restand the front row to attack with him again. This card is kind of whatever. Honestly, they should have made this the common, made the other one the rare. That's why I don't expect any of these manga decks to be too insane. I just have to do something cool and funny. Yeah, they do too much. They just do too much. Silhouette was a lot more specific. It just doesn't have enough support cards. Misty Arc is kind of all over the place, and this is kind of all over the place, to be honest. Because, like, why do they have a retire card? Nothing of this deck has said retire, and then now this fella is coming in here retiring 2 cards. Why? It just screams of Misty Arc, where it's just like, oh, I will make you discard, but I'll also make you stun, but I also need a full board so that I can call stuff out, bounce the hand. Here's like 5 different effects from 5 different decks, smushed into one. But so far, this will be the main attacker, I guess, which is a grade 3. This is the Ember Breath Dragon. So this says, during your turn, If you have Coastal Blaze, this is 5k, so it's 18k. That's decent. You can withstand this, I guess, if you get this into Soul. But then it says you can counterblast one. Look at the top 3 cards of your deck. Choose 1 card from among them. Call it. If it's grade 2 or less. If not, put it into your hand. So that's really good. Because you can, you know, fill up your board that way. So you can fill up your board really easily with this deck, which is ironic that this is in Dragon Empire. Because the Vanguard can call out one and this can call it out something else. So you can call this and then it can call something out. Top 3 is kind of yikes. But you do get the fact that if it's grade 2 or less, normal unit, you can call it. If not, you put it to your hand. The cards grade 2 or less, normal unit, put it to your hand if not. Right? Pretty cool. Can't call it grade 3, which is silly. Lattice energy, sort of. Yeah, because you can call 2 cards with an effect. Yeah. You can. It does restand, so you can use the second effect technically. And then at the end of the battle, you put it to Soul. So it gives you Soul. So you can technically use this for another effect, but still not seeing enough Soul here. And I think this is the last card here. So this is a triple rare. So this has to do something. So this says when this attacks, it gets 5k to the end of the turn. Right? So that's pretty good. So it attacks once, 15, attacks again, and becomes 20. Solid. Then it says, at the end of the battle of this unit attacked, choose either a Coastal Blaze from your ride deck, reveal it, or if you already have it as a grade 3, you put it into Soul, draw 1. So that's pretty decent. So you can actually reuse this because you can Soul Blast it. You can use this turn 2. It doesn't get to 5k. It can attack. Then it goes to Soul. You draw 1, right? And then if you call another one out, you Soul Blast out this copy so that that one can restand, and then you can put it into Soul. So decent. It needs a little bit more than just a 15k, 20k attacker to just fire all this Soul. It technically generates Soul, but I'm just not seeing it. So this is all right. It just doesn't have, I feel like, enough to keep it going consistently, but I might be wrong. The last card we have here, I think the last card at all, is a promo card. So this is the Youthquake promo. This is Blazing War Cry. So this is supposed to be on par with Misty Habitat, Saragon, what was his name? A Habitable Zone. But the one where you play him Soul Blast like a top 7, right? It's supposed to be on par with those crazy promos. So this says, this is a normal order, grade 2 normal order. You play this, look at the top 7. No other requirement, no cost. Just play this like a top 7. It's literally Misty Habitat. Look at top 7, choose a card, any card. Doesn't specify, doesn't specify what it has to be, right? It just says choose a card from those top 7. Doesn't matter what the fuck it is. And then you do one of those 3 things with that card. You take it, put it to Soul. You take it if it has the same name as your Vanguard, put it into your hand. You if you have a matching name as it, either in rear or Soul, you can then call it. Right? So you can technically use this in other decks, but this does help the deck work a little bit better because it very easily, you know, you attack with the grade 2, he goes to Soul, draw 1. Turn 3 comes up, you play this, look at top 7, get that grade 2 that's in Soul, call it out. You can attack with him, then Soul Blast to restand him again. So, pretty good for the most part. I don't know if it'll be really played in other decks, but I think it's pretty solid. I don't know if it's on the level of Misty Habitat per se. Look at top 7, put anything into Soul. It's fine. Look at top 7, add Persona Ride. Decent. That third part, I don't know how many decks will really get to use that, honestly, aside from... I don't think there's a lot. Unless you play Shinri. This does call out your Shinris, right? So there's that. If you have her in Soul, you can call her out constantly. And you would have played in order that turn, so it does have crazy synergy with her, which just about every Dragon Empire deck can play, right? So, but that is that. Overall, both of the Blaze, he seems interesting. I like that it's an interesting set of cards and stuff. He doesn't really have any like direct counterpart in Dragon Empire or anything like that, so he does bring something unique to the table. He seems, honestly, he's more cohesive than Mithiarchals, right? He seems more cohesive in that way. Has a stronger game plan also, has like an actual win condition. But I think he's about as supported as her, to be honest. I don't know how well this is gonna go. Run to this deck since it got added to CFA. Yeah, I mean, it just got added today. But I'm not imagining two people being too excited about this. I'd probably have to be the one to hype it up. But I have to sit down and actually try it out. I have not had the time to do that yet. That's it. Except really quickly for Divine set 3. Doing something interesting here, and I don't know why they did it this way. But essentially what happened is these were the original rates. I don't know if rates is the right word. These were the original amounts of cards we were getting in these rarities. So we were originally getting 50 commons, 35 rares, 24 double rares, and then 19 triple rares. They, for whatever reason, revealed this and then decided to reprint every single effect trigger, except for the heals and for Lyrical, in the set as R+, right? Which is just, I think, the normal rare foiling in this set, which is cool. But in order to do that, they took out 5 commons and a whole 10 rares from the set originally. What is that? What do you mean by that? What do you mean originally you just took out 15 cards? Where are those 15 cards? What were they going to be? What does this mean? And made them into this. What does that mean? Your yellow friend that I forgot the name is pretty hyped about the new Dragon line. Zephyr probably. Yeah, that sounds about right. He would like another Overlord card. I think it's fine. I'm not like immediately impressed, but it seems fun. I obviously like it because you can, or I shouldn't say I like it, but I'm interested, maybe is a better word, just because it uses soul, and I like all the cards that use soul, interact with soul in some sort of way. But I just have to see how it actually plays. This make new effect triggers so there can be some variety to them. What do you mean exactly? Do you mean new art but same effect? Or do you mean, I guess, new art, new effect? I would not mind if they made a new effect. I would not mind alternate art either. I would like both of those. New cards with the same effects. I wouldn't mind that. So we have, instead of everyone playing the same exact triggers, right? So you can personalize a little bit. I would not be against that. They would have to print them twice for like 2 sets in a row. Because those would be extremely expensive because they're like unique. But I would not be against that. I wouldn't be against actually new effect triggers overall. I would not be against that. Not saying it has to be something crazy good. I just would not be against it. You know, I think that would be pretty cool. Like, I like the fact that we have new regalias, new over triggers, right? I wouldn't mind if we got new PGs, that kind of stuff. I hope we get into that territory where they start experimenting with that stuff. And decks, like, I want deck building to be harder, right? I want more choices for people for different situations. But there needs some convoluted way to stop you from running 8 effect fronts or something. Not really. Would that really be the worst thing in the world if that happened?
Like, would that really be the worst thing? No deck plays 8 fronts, right? So if a deck plays 8 fronts because they get an extra 5k shield per trigger, would that really be the worst thing in the world? I don't think so. Playing 8 of the effect draws, that is a bit strong, you know, in comparison, right? That's a bit stronger in comparison. That actually would be more viable, but I'm not against that because it's not, you know, 8 crit and then you flip a coin depending on the playstyle if it's front or draw for the last 3 or 4, right? So I'm 100% not against that. If we start seeing like 8 front, 8 draw, 100% not against that. I am for that. So sounds cool to me. Effect draws feel a lot worse these days when the deck draws a lot more. Yeah, but if I had 8 of them, I don't know, it'd be kind of cool. Everything's 10k shield. Effect draws. Right up. Bugnon V8 front deck. Please actually do that. I would love to have more. I would love to have more decks that encourage, like, more decks that are specifically want to run different trigger lineups than the norm, and then just in general, more cards that maybe generically or just overall that reward you for playing different trigger lineups, right? I would love that. I would love everything to stop being 7-8 crits every single time. Just a little bit of variety would be nice. Even if it's just a few decks, it'd be nice. Speaking of Bugnon, that is on Thursday. So not today, not tomorrow, but the next day. And we also have this triple rare, which I think is a new cycler also. I love them, they're cyclers. 4-star K that we're getting. If I remember correctly, this is like from Thursday, so I might be wrong about this, but I think it's supposed to be another generic card. Not that it specifically supports this, but it might be kind of like Bifrons, who supports Astroya. But you can use her in any deck. So it might be that kind of situation. We'll see. Literally, we're predicting what it does. Yeah, unless you read the manga, maybe you'd have a better idea. But other than that, I don't know. I think that's about it. I think the only other thing I had was this. I'm sure we don't have to go into super detail. I don't, unless you guys want to. But this was just a results from, I guess, the Vangasai, right? The Great Vanguard Festival in Japan, where they had a tournament. And this is your post-festival collection results, essentially. For us, it's basically post-DVZ 2, right? And it's essentially it's essentially the same. The only difference is that, like, you take out these 3 and you put this guy here and you have the DBZ 01 format, essentially, right? Because Eva is there because of her promo, and then these 2 are new decks from that set. And then you would get rid of this completely because she doesn't have her card yet. Other than that, this looks like a decent enough format. Journey is small, which is all I care about. So yeah, like, there's good variety, both also, like, in terms of like the decks being played, but also somewhat in terms of like nations, because we have what, 2 Dragon Empire, 1 Keter, 2 Dark States, 2 Brank Gates, 2 Starkea, 1 Brank Gate. I might have said Brank Gate twice. 2 Brank Gate. It's literally, yeah, it's literally 2 Brank Gate, 2 Starkea, or no, 3 Brank Gate, 2 Starkea, 2 Dark States, 2 Dragon Empire, 1 Keter. Lyrical's completely gone, unfortunately. They're probably in here somewhere, but yeah. Unfortunately, they don't really have a strong representative at the moment, but they are getting Lyrical Set 1, so that's definitely gonna, I'm sure, put some faces here. It's still really funny to hear it. Yeah, the vines, yeah. I keep trying, especially when I say the set names, I keep struggling. I keep just saying DBZ instead of DZB, but whatever. Yeah, unfortunately, Chris Rain is, I don't think she has a really good matchup against any of these decks right now, so you're not gonna see that. And I don't think Japan specifically is gonna play any of the older lyrical decks per se, aside from like Ballista to give that a shot, but
Doesn't look like that was either played or saw any prominence here. So these are definitely the decks that are being supported, right? With these two here being the outliers in that they're like end stage overdressed decks that are still good, which is nice. And then this is just, of course, the Stride deck set, so it's of course going to be there, but it's the only one. Luard seems to gotten shot in both knees, because it's not here. So Quarter Pound Girls, yeah, totally not coping. But you can actually see Lyrical in the top results here, so we actually have that. So this is, you know, they do 2 blocks in the Japanese tournaments, so they have block A, block B. So this is block A, you know, first, second, third, fourth, etc. We do see Luard here. We do see the Shiranui here. You're gonna see a lot of Zorga. You even see that here. This is actually a different fight scene. This is a different fight here. See Zorga on every single team here. You're also gonna see a lot of Bladmire, I think, on every team. It's funny. And these are Zorga lists. You never know what you're gonna look at. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here, but this is really interesting. And they're privy to the Kyoka. They're privy to the Kyoka. I'm glad I got all my stuff already. And that the magazine order was a box topper. I have to see if I can get that in foil, but I'm glad I have access to that now. But yeah, we have Lyrical here. We have Kyoka, so that's double. But let me change back to pink. Yeah. I'm the ultimate tier 0 format record. Nope. Who would have known? Like, you shouldn't exaggerate the second a deck comes out and actually playtest it and not your whiny baby. But Raziel is there as expected. Liel is nowhere to be found for the most part, unfortunately. We have literally 2 Astorias, which is 2 more than was expected. This 5 through 8 looks insane because there's just so much rarity here, right? The only decks that are repeated are Trajeweled, but also Unica, which is kind of insane. But we got a Shiranui, we got Mushiking, we got Chaos. Hello, this team is so based, like absolutely based is this team. We got a more stereotypical build here, or combination of decks here. Sorry. There's a Zorga again. This one is interesting too, but you know, I can, aside from Unica, maybe Mushiking, I could see these all being really good decks, right? So it's pretty good. Like Chaos Astroya is the base team, yeah, absolutely. This is pretty cool. Then we got ourselves here. We got ourselves Mygo, which is cool. We now have access to that. We see a bunch of Bladmire here. Bladmire and Bladmire. We see Jack Jeweled a lot. We also see Shiranui. We got Raziel and Zorga. Not Zorga. Varga here. Not Zorga, shockingly. But yeah. Still see Welstra there, and I see another Chaos. Love to see that. Very nice, very nice. And then this is the last half. The last fourth, I should say. Which is about, you know, the usual stuff. Nothing really to write home around. Quite a lot of Leonards. It's like the 4th Leonard, so that's kind of cool. We finally got the Seraph Snow here. I'm very interested to check this out later. You know, this is like, we've got a Raziel on almost every team here. This one has the Lord, which is basically Raziel because they play the same color pile. They just have a different Vanguard effect, essentially, right? But I realize, oh wait, all the bug orders are Stoichea orders, and now your order collection is incomplete. Yeah. Dude, you can't really use them in any other deck though. But speaking of bugs, we got the B side. So this is, you know, different block. So top 16 from that block. But we got ourselves Veleno. Set 2 Veleno here in 2nd place. Very nice, very nice. But we can see the usual here. Triple Zorga. Zorga's very strong, very popular. Who would have thought? I got Jack Jeweled. We still got Varga. Still got Raziel, which is good. We still got Journey, which is not as good, but it is what it is. Base Lando, yeah. Pretty cool. I haven't taken a look at these lists yet, unfortunately. But they look pretty cool. Just the fact that it's here, right? But I'm going to check these out. some other time. Got ourselves. Second page is looking very interesting. We got ourselves Greedon. I'm surprised they used this image specifically. That was kind of interesting. We got Chronojet. We got, you know, sort of standard affair here. We got ourselves Mygo, but then also Morphonica, which is kind of wild that they played both. But then we got ourselves here Mygo again, pretty cool. Vladimir, you know, pretty cool. It's the most I don't hate playing against this tier 1 deck I've ever seen in a long time. Is that really tier 1? I mean, I guess it is. I don't know. I find it hard to count it tier 1. I mean, I guess definitely in usage, but I don't feel like it really does something to warrant it being tier 1. I don't know, I feel like it doesn't do enough. Like, it's not like it's a bad deck. I just, compared to the other tier 1s that do like so much, like, I don't know. But yeah, Zorga, Urinary, Vladimir, Drag Drooled, you know, usual stuff. Got a Tamayura, pretty cool. And then the last slide, kind of what you'd expect, same old, just a Sharpmont. Stands out in another prison, which is alright. Surprisingly, prison didn't do as highly as I thought it was going to do. I thought it was going to do a little bit better. But, you know, here we are. I think that's it. Cool. But yeah, we got the vines now. Kind of about the same, right? It seems like the only thing that happened in the Vine set 2 is that we have Zorga and Vladimir. Not so much any of the other new decks per se, right? There's like no Liels. There's obviously no Rotovisor, no Punk Girls, no what's the other one? None of the Dragon Empire decks, right? So it's pretty much exactly the same. Granted, this is with Festival Collection, but I don't know if any of these decks heavily relied on Festival Collection. Prison is back, so there's that. Prison is a thing, and Eva, that's a promo. Or because of her promo, not that she's a promo. Alright. And I didn't stream on Thursday, but we did manage to catch up. I'm gonna have to cut it a little bit short today. I don't know yet if I will stream Thursday. I might go to locals on Thursday. There's your locals that I usually don't go to because I have work. I don't have work. So I might end up going to that locals. They might. I don't know if they stream it. Sometimes they stream it. They do put up the fights on the YouTube channel for, you know, that store. Maybe I'll be on YouTube. But we'll see if I do well. Don't forget drugs, I'll take that in a bit. But yeah, I'll see. I'll post about it if we'll stream on Thursday. If I do, I'll take a look at Cough of Blaze and what's a different fight? Dayusha. Test that out, and we can talk about the Nun. If not, we'll talk Tuesday. We'll do a super catch up, and I'll have more time. So we can talk. Maybe play a bit, but we'll see. Was it 5-hour discussion? We need 4. Busy yeah, with that. We'll see about that. Can't wait to need it needing it needing it and more. But in any case, thanks everyone for stopping by. We'll be back maybe Thursday, definitely Tuesday. But till then, take care of yourselves and each other. Play Vanguard if you guys are enjoying Divines, and have yourselves a damn good one. It's reasonable for Bug Nun since it's a manga deck. I don't know. You never know. They might. Luan was a manga deck. Luan's pretty good.